It's a big, woolly, hair-like mat, and it smells very musty odor to it. I can drive by I can ride by a cove that has a lyngbya infestation, and I don't even need to go in it. That's how potent the smell can be. You can smell it without seeing it.
So, Jessica, in your capacity with the NC State Aquatic Plant Management Program, tell me what the Lake Norman Marine Commission is doing, or has begun doing, to treat this lyngbya infestation that has become so noticeable within a number of Lake Norman coves, particularly last summer.
Yeah, it's kind of been impressive, I will say. The Lake Norman Marine Commission has, when you're dealing with these large water bodies and there's lots of stakeholders, lots of counties and property owners that are invested in this one entity. When you're talking about lyngbya or any kind of invasive aquatic plant in general, you need to look at it as an ecosystem and not just property lines. So having these entities that can kind of combine governmental money and put it towards a single effort is fantastic. And the Marine Commission, in very short order, was able to raise and collect the funds from the counties and from Charlotte Water and Duke Energy. They were able to raise enough funds for us to be able to treat 10 acres within the lake. And we've turned it quickly around, and for effective treatments, you need to start them in April. And we were able to get our April treatment in the water. And so they really facilitated this really quick turnaround and been able to get a successful treatment in this year.
In the eastern part of the state, Ballman's agency has been battling a lyngbya infestation in Lake Gaston for a decade. In that time, the algae has gone from occupying 100 acres of the reservoir to now affecting 1,300 acres. It underscores the importance of staying ahead of the problem on Lake Norman.
With Norman, when they said, well, we have 10 acres, I was like, oh, this could be something that we can manage. So I'm really excited to see, jumping ahead of it so quickly, how the control looks over the next couple of seasons as compared to an issue like Gaston, where we're trying to combat a much bigger problem.
So what would you like people to keep in mind about what they're going to be seeing during the treatment process that's going to be running through September of this year?
So the main thing that kind of throws people off is that our application company that we use, Aqua Services, uses airboats for their application. So you will see airboats out on the lake. We have to, one of the difficult things about lyngbya is that you need 6 consecutive months of treatment to really start seeing that control. And so treatment started this month, and you will see about mid-month each from now until September, the airboats coming along the shoreline. And so that's the first thing that kind of throws people off of what are these airboats doing? And they're just going to be slowly cruising the shoreline. The second thing that kind of throws people off is that the type of herbicides that we're using have a blue tint to them. It's a chelated copper. And so you will see that blue chemical in the water immediately after application. It does dissipate. The copper in general dissipates within a couple of days. But that's another thing, that it's totally fine, and those chemicals are safe. This is a slow burning process, so it slowly is burning those mat layers. We don't expect those mats that are along the bottom to be gone by the end of treatment season. Unfortunately, lyngbya treatments take multiple years to start getting that complete control. But what homeowners will start seeing is that those surface mats that become so problematic in the summer, those should dissipate this year.